I obviously respect the will of the people. I didn't vote for the person who won, okay? But life must go on.
What
Okay?
do you think, if anything, the vice
Yeah.
president should have done differently?
I think she got in very late in the game. She should, she had the full time, maybe it would have been closer.
I guess I'm kind of maybe a little bit surprised. I didn't really know like what was going to happen. Kind of thought that could go either way, especially with the swing states. Didn't really know. Thought some of the states might lean more blue than they did. But I think kind of depends upon what candidate, like where they were going. I think a lot of the royal base, like and royal people showed up, which I think surprised a lot of people. I think also the demographics were surprising to some people of like how many younger people voted for Trump compared to 2020. I think also the Latin American vote was up for Donald Trump, which also surprised a lot of people. So that was kind of my reaction. Didn't know if it was going to go that way or not, but that's kind of what happened. So, yeah.
And how are you feeling when you saw the news?
Well, I left my TV on. I fell asleep. We'll go 2:30. Saw Donald Trump. I don't know. It's an interesting time in America. Not really sure what's going to happen there's definitely a lot of different policies and feelings, I think, on both sides. So interested to see what happens with the economy, also immigration, all that stuff, abortion laws and all that. So I think it's an interesting time to be alive, but don't really know what the next 4 years are going to look like.
God bless America.
So, former President Donald Trump is now the president-elect. Vice
Yes.
President Kamala Harris has been projected to lose. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. Everybody who didn't vote, you should have voted. That's all I have to say.
Do you think the vice president should have done, if anything, different?
No, I don't know. It's just, it is what it is.
Are you surprised by the results?
No, not really.
I don't feel good about it.
What do you think the vice president, if anything, should have done differently?
I think she did the best she could. I think it's hard. I know some people feel like the comparisons to Nazi Germany are going too far, but I'm seeing history is doomed to repeat itself. Like Karl Marx said, once as a lesson, twice as a farce. We're in the farce stage.
Were you surprised when you saw the results this morning?
I had a feeling when I checked my phone I didn't have celebration texts. Just like my gut instinct took over.
I think there's a lot of potential, so hopefully we can get some of the poison out of our food, get some of the budget out of the government, make things more efficient, make things better. So we'll see. Time will tell.
Were you surprised this morning?
Yeah.
What do you think, if anything, the vice president could have done differently?
I think she could have been more consistent on her policies. She could have talked more. I think she could have gone on Joe Rogan, things like that.
And just one more time, your thoughts on the results?
I think it has potential, so we'll see. Like I said, there's a lot of potentially good things, but time will tell how things play out.
Kind of scary. Just think that a lot of people believe that he's like appointed by God and stuff like that, and I'm just not really in agreement with that. I want to have someone that kind of builds trust in the government, not like be the government. And
Were you surprised by what I just told you?
Yeah, very surprised. Yeah, that's not very surprised because last night I was kind of keeping up with it, and it looked like he had a lot more electoral votes, but I knew he had a good chance, to be honest, too. Yeah.
What do you think, if anything, the vice president should have done differently?
I think she probably could have hit more areas outside the royal or urban areas because I think that's a lot of. She got most of the votes in on cities and stuff like that, in major cities, but yeah, I just don't think she really hit that many places outside where she can influence more people.
I was actually pleased with the results, and I think that a lot of people, there was definitely some worries on both sides, and I think that there was, obviously the swing states, battleground states, end up going, red. So I think that, I'm just glad people got out and vote and, voice their opinion. Either way it would have gone. I think that it's our civic duty to get out and vote. And I think a lot of people were, going from 2016 to 2020 to 2024 with different, going back and forth between Democrat and Republican. I think that, does bring up a little bit of concern, but I think overall I was happy personally, but that's just my opinion. I know some people were a little bit, uneasy about it, but I think that we're in good hands. I think that, we have somebody that's been in office before. I think he did a good job in office in his first 4 years. So I think we'll be fine for 4 more, and then we'll see in 2028 as he can't run again. So we'll see kind of where, if it goes back blue or or stays red. We'll see. But I'm just glad everyone got a lot of big voter turnout, and not everybody can be happy, but the winning side can.
I feel like helpless, and I don't understand how this happened. I don't think it's acceptable that so many people think that what Trump is doing and what he wants to do is okay, but I also don't know what I can do about it.
What do you think the vice president, if anything, should have done differently?
I don't think she did anything wrong. I think she ran a great campaign. I think there is a core of misogyny in this country that she could not overcome.
And how were you feeling when you woke up and saw the results this morning?
Dead inside. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I don't know how to talk to her about it. I don't know. I don't think I have processed it. I don't know how I can. To think that such a huge number of people are so okay with that level of hatred and vitriol is just mind-boggling to me. I don't know how to think about it yet. I don't know if I ever will.
I saw it coming. That's, people I've talked to, that's who they seem. They're not really happy with where everything is right now. That kind of feels like it was 4 years ago, with COVID. People aren't happy. They want change. My guess happens again in 4 years, changes again.
What do you think were the big sticking points why people wanted change?
Everything is so expensive. I think inflation was a big part of it. Groceries are unbelievably expensive. That's what I voted with.
What do you think the vice president, if anything, could have done differently?
I don't know if she could have done anything differently. Just being under Biden, that's a tough circumstance to be in.